We can continue this all day. I also will add you to the case if you want to continue this. This needs to be dismissed today. Today.
Well, let's go ahead and proceed because it's not going to be dismissed today.
All right, guys, today we've got a sovereign citizen facing off against a judge. And this guy actually thought it was a good idea to make threats right to the judge's face. Seriously, who does that? You're not going to believe what happens next. This is about to get wild. Let's dive in and see how it all unfolds.
Good morning to you, sir.
Your Honor, I'm going to represent myself in this matter. And for the record, my name is Grayson Bay.
All right, City of Detroit versus Javar, Grayson Bay. Your offer, sir, is a $240 fine, failure to display, and a seatbelt ticket. You pay those, we'll close the other matters out. That will abstract to the Secretary of State. And then the seatbelt ticket is $65. So $240, $65. We'll close the matters. We'll close the matters out. That'll be a failure to display. It will abstract, but it won't carry any points. And today is the date and time set for a trial.
Your Honor, today was supposed to be set for trial, and I don't consent to any of this.
Well, Your Honor, today was, supposed to be set for trial, and I don't consent to any of this. This dude really thinks he has to give consent to be prosecuted. Like, bro, this isn't a group project. You don't get to opt out. The audacity is actually insane. Walking into court like, nah, I don't agree to this, as if that's gonna work. If I were the judge, I'd hit him with contempt so fast he'd be rethinking all his life choices in a holding cell.
Okay, it is set for trial. I just gave you your offer so that you can you go in? Okay, there. I just gave you your offer so you could,
I'm not accepting that. I won't accept that offer.
Mr. Corporal Ambrose, can you put your appearance on the record, please?
Good morning, Corporal Brian Ambrose. Detroit Police Department, Badge 415.
Good morning to you. Okay, let's go. Are you ready to proceed, Corporal Ambrose?
Yeah.
Your Honor, I would object to holding this trial. I believe he stated that he's a different person. We have a ticket for a Mr. Javar Grayson. Grayson Bay is an entirely different person. We don't have jurisdiction over. We don't have a case over. I would object to holding that trial.
I'm going to deny the objection. He just said he's Grayson Bay. He just I don't think he's objecting to the fact.
I object to that, Your Honor. I'm objecting, and I also questioning jurisdiction.
Okay, so right there the judge lays it out. But this guy, nope. He cuts in like, I'm not accepting that, bro. Really thinks he's at a negotiation table. This isn't a flea market. You don't get to haggle your way out of a legal...
Okay. Well, I'm denying your motion about jurisdiction, sir. The court has jurisdiction over you, so are you ready to proceed, Mr. Grayson Bay?
No, I'm not. I object to anything that you would call yourself doing. Also, I like to add that I sent this Brian and brochure. I sent him a COL. It's a cut-off law form. I warned him about this situation. This process is also in Wayne County. He's being sued. We can continue this all day. I also will add you to the case if you want to continue this. This needs to be dismissed today. Today.
Imagine walking into court with this level of confidence just to get laughed at and take the biggest L of your life. Bro really thought he had a game-winning argument, only for the judge to hit him with the legal version of sit down. And not only that, he's actually trying to challenge the court's jurisdiction. Like my guy, if there was no jurisdiction, then why did you even show up? You had an entire morning to rethink this, and yet here you are, standing in front of the judge, ready to...
I will see Brian Ambrose in 3 weeks in Wayne County.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and proceed because it's not going to be dismissed today. Okay.
Well,
So
I
you can
object,
do
Your
what
Honor.
you want to do over in circuit court. Then have your way. That is your right. I don't know
Thank
how you're proceeding in circuit court when you feel that this court doesn't even have jurisdiction over you. So let's go ahead and proceed. Corporal Ambrose, you want to speak with them before we proceed, Ms. Snyder?
Yes, Your Honor, and I do think we just need to clear up on the record that Your Honor has denied my motion to not have this matter heard today based on this defendant saying he is not the defendant before us. And also that defendant has agreed that he is not the defendant before us, but Your Honor is telling us to still do this trial. I need to make sure that's clear on the record.
Yeah, I don't think that he's denying that he's not Javar Grayson Bay. Are you denying that you're not Javar Grayson Bay, sir?
I am the living person, Grayson Bay, in living form.
Well, I'm denying your motion about jurisdiction, sir. The court has jurisdiction over you. Are you ready to proceed? Mr. Grayson Bay? No, I'm not. I object to anything you're doing. Also, I sent a cut of law form. I warned him. This process is also in Wayne County. He's being sued. We can do this all day. I'll add you to the case if this continues. This needs to be dismissed today. The confidence is unreal. Sovereign citizens really act like the law doesn't apply to them. But threatening to sue the judge if they don't dismiss the case, that's not a flex. That's just asking for contempt.
Javar Grayson is an artificial.
However he wants to articulate it, we'll let him articulate that. He's Grayson Bay. He's Javar Grayson Bay. His mom gave him that name. I don't think that's any dispute. Okay, so
That name has a social security card attached to it. It also has
I think it's going to be pretty quick, Ms. Snyder. I'll put you in a breakout room with Corporal Ambrose and put it that way. It is just an expired plate, a seatbelt ticket, no proof of insurance. What is this other thing? Refuse to exhibit license and a false information ID. So just join the breakout room, have a conversation with Corporal Ambrose, and then we'll just hear it. And if he has a right to remain silent, he says he doesn't want to be represented by a lawyer, and you can just put your case on the record, and I'll have to make a decision based on that.
Are you denying that you're not Javar Grayson Bay? I am the living person Grayson Bay in living form. This courtroom is turning into a comedy show. He's mocking the judge to his face and still acting like he's in charge. At this point, contempt is long overdue.
My supervisor has advised me to file an interlocutory appeal, Your Honor.
An interlocutory appeal on my motion, on your motion?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Or I suppose time to brief the issue, maybe on this record, or I'd leave in Your Honor's discretion.
Let's see does that interlocutory appeal, if that is,
I'm sorry, Your Honor, are we back on the record for Grayson?
Yeah, let's go back on the record with Mr. Javar Grayson Bay. Now, there's that interlocutory appeal. I mean, I have to proceed. I mean, I got the discretion of whether I want to allow you to do that or not, or just proceed, and you can file your appeal. Correct? Give me the law on that. You're muted, Miss Snyder.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. My supervisor is talking to me over the wall, so it's hard to hear two people at once.
Okay.
The court rule is, I think she might be coming back. It's MCR 7.205.
205, application for leave to appeal, and you said What was the citation? What were the other?
7.212, but that's just saying the format for briefs.
I have 7.205 is application for leave to appeal. Appeals to circuit court. 7.105. If the order appealed is interlocutory, setting forth facts showing how the appellant would suffer substantial harm by awaiting final judgment before taking an appeal.
We believe that the substantial harm that the people would suffer would be the defendant has already stated he's filing numerous lawsuits against the court, against the parties, against the officer. We believe we'd be giving him a golden parachute. It's just one more issue to add to his level of appeals. This is one issue that needs to be clarified. Of course, he will be found, I believe, through fingerprints to be either the person given that ticket or Javar Grayson, the person given the ticket, will be given a capias warrant and we can move on. But I do believe that this issue needs to be handled before we make a further record. I have a duty to mitigate the city's damages. And I believe that's what we're doing and what I was advised to do by my supervisor.
But how would the city be harmed at all if we proceed? What would be any harm for the city? Especially if you acknowledge the fact that you think that by fingerprints that would be Mr. Javar Grayson.
But Your Honor, what we think and what we can prove as a matter of the record and as the court of law is different. I do understand it. I believe he's being frivolous. I think he is wasting the court's time. But I do think that as lawyers, as a court of law who do have to face appellate issues, this is something that we need to clear up on the record and have a clear record, such as a chain of custody of who Mr. Grayson is. I don't think it would take that long. Or we could solve this today with giving Javar Grayson a capias warrant and let Bay, whoever he may be, go on about his business. Either or. But I do think that having this trial over both of our objections is not the correct answer.
I just don't feel. I just don't feel.
It can't stand.
One, I don't see any harm in proceeding. He's already indicated that he is Javar Grayson, except he wants to be acknowledged as Javar Grayson Bay, or he's the living. I don't know how he termed it. Person of Javar Grayson Bay. I don't think that, as a matter of fact, when Corporal Ambrose came in the room and introduced himself, I saw Mr. Grayson Bay sort of kind of had a look on his face. And to me, I took that look as he knows Corporal Ambrose. And there's no question. I haven't asked Corporal Ambrose if this is the person that he pulled over, but I'll definitely let you ask Corporal Ambrose that. But I don't think that there is any sort of identity issue here. I think the issue comes into something that we've seen probably, I don't know how many times, and I'm sure we're going to see it more in the future. And I agree that those things are frivolous and they do not apply. So I don't see anywhere where we can't proceed with it.